Hi everyone, Donna here with Bookkeeping Made Simple, and today we're going to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence, what it is, what it can do to change your business, what it can't do, and why you should or should not be afraid of it. And I have a very different response than a lot of people I've been seeing commenting on this. So without further ado, let's get into it. As always, if you enjoy the show, please like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the red notification bell so that you're alerted when new videos drop. And that's it. You know the drill. So let me start out saying my first job, my first major in college was computer science. Just a little bit of background. When I was little, I was fascinated with computers, and that has not changed. Literally from the time I saw a Commodore 64, yes, I know, I'm giving my age away. I'm solidly Gen X. I remember just being fascinated with it. And I remember the ELIZA program that ran on a tape drive. For those of you who are under 30, that means it was a tape recorder or a tape player. And that was what our program was on for this Commodore 64. A few of my friends had one. Dad didn't want to invest the money in one. It didn't make sense for us at the time, although we were pretty much cutting edge on a lot of things. We had one of the first color TVs in our neighborhood, and we had one of the first microwaves in our neighborhood. And but he wasn't really interested in. I mean, he was interested, but the expense of the computer was it was like $3,000 in the 70s. So so that would be about 10 grand today. Whereas now we go out and I can buy a new desktop or laptop for about $300, and it's no big deal. So back then they were very expensive and they were very slow, and we thought they were the greatest thing ever. At least I did. I was fascinated, and I was fascinated with this ELIZA program because it would come on and say, "How are you?" And you would give it an answer. I'm sad and depressed. And it would come back and give questions to go with that emotion. Why are you depressed? And it kind of would go on. And so it was an original artificial intelligence. Now we're seeing a lot with ChatGPT. We're seeing Bing has their own AI. And what they are is large language models. So they're slightly fancier than a search engine. In other words, if you ask ChatGPT a question, it's going to give you an answer. Okay. You can type the very same question into Google, and you are also going to get an answer, but your answer is going to be a list of websites that you have to sift through. So I see a lot of utility for ChatGPT, but I'm also seeing a lot of people saying it's the end of the world as we know it. That nobody's going to have a job after this because it is so frightening and scary. Okay, and I disagree. I see a lot of hysteria behind ChatGPT. A lot of people thinking it's going to eliminate their jobs. I disagree. With every tool, there is a possibility of abuse and there is a possibility of use. And that goes for anything. I can take a hammer and I can hammer nails and I can build a house. I can take that very same hammer and, well, I wouldn't, but in a fit of rage, someone could kill someone with it. They could take that hammer and bash their head in. It's a tool. The hammer is not the problem. It's the same thing I've seen with social media, with tablets, with smartphones, with newspapers, with television, with radio. Every time there's a technological advance, there is a large cohort of people who are afraid of it. I tend to be an early adopter if I can. On the other hand, there are other pieces of technology that are being mandated by the government that I don't think should be mandated. I think they're too early in their technological development. And I also believe that if they are really as good as the developers say that they are, they will be adopted and you won't need to mandate them. So I'm a huge proponent of the free market that way. I don't want the government or anyone else coming in and saying, thou shalt purchase this piece of technology. whether it is an EV, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's a smartphone, whether it's a computer, a tablet, a TV, a radio, whatever it is. I do not want the government saying I have to have it, or I don't have any alternatives. So, and that's kind of where I always draw my line. What are my alternatives? Nobody has to use ChatGPT. Okay, you are able to use your own brain, which I encourage. I will often run things through ChatGPT to get ideas, but I don't rely on it. Where it is very beneficial is when I can use some sort of AI to perform analyses on my clients' books, but ChatGPT is horrible at that. So next question. Are AI and large language models going to take over the earth? Well, I do remember watching 2001: A Space Odyssey. I remember Hal going wacko. I am Gen X, I don't like self-driving cars because I saw Doctor Who and I know how it can go badly wrong. It can go badly wrong when there's a human driver too. There is a lot of opportunities for abuse, but that comes from the developers and the government. I always hate to say that because I don't like to get political. But as far as my use of it, whether I use it, how I use it, it is a tool. And it is a tool that I feel like we do need to keep an eye on it because we don't want it abused, and we certainly don't want our data abused behind our backs. I really don't like that. I want to know, I miss the old days when I knew how to do packet sniffing and to be able to tell what my network traffic was and where it was going. I'm a little behind on that these days, but I do want to see AI being used, and I think it's a wonderful tool. I do not believe that it should be demonized. I do believe that at the political level, with the policy level, maybe not the political level because everything is hyper politicized and to the point of people dumping friendships of 50 years because somebody said something they didn't like. It's stupid. I have friends on both sides of the political aisle, and I really like talking to people about their experiences because their experiences are not my experiences, regardless of the color of their skin or where they live or what gender they are or whatever. They don't have the same experience as I do. So I have a set of beliefs that are based on my upbringing and experiences, but I also recognize that other people may have a very different experience that may lead them in a different direction. And because I'm a little bit older and I'm part of the forgotten generation, I do like to talk to them about what their experiences are. So what I'm looking at with AI is how can I use it to improve the processes in my business? I typically use it for idea generation. I may use it to come up with a list of things that I could do. There's a lot that you can do with it. But again, it is a tool. It is no better or worse than Google. It is no better or worse than Excel or Microsoft. And those come with their own risks. And I do believe that as these AI models, and I think artificial intelligence is a bad name for them. Honestly, they're not intelligent. They are processors. They give the appearance of intelligence, just like the old ELIZA program gave the appearance of being in a therapist's office. But they don't have feelings. They don't have experience. They don't have thought. They don't have relationships. They don't have passion. They don't have, I have experience that ChatGPT can never replicate. And because of that, that makes me a better person. I hope. It makes me a better mom, better grandma, better mother-in-law, better, these are new roles. It makes me a more compassionate employer, a more compassionate business owner, makes me better with my clients. I've even had clients that I have let go as a client because they weren't doing what we asked them to do to solve their problems. But I'm still referring people to them because I care about my clients and I want them to get the right help, even if it's not me. And that's something ChatGPT or any other quote unquote artificial intelligence can do. What they can do is they can learn a lot, definitely, but they can't provide what a human can provide. They cannot provide compassion. They cannot refer you to the best lawyer in town because they heard that you are having problems with your business. They probably don't even know who the best lawyer in town is. And it's more than, can they file a pleading? ChatGPT can do that. It's more about, if an attorney cares about their client, they're going to take risks that artificial intelligence can't take. Because again, AI cannot produce original thought. It can't. It can do like every other computer program in the history of ever. It can do what it's programmed to do, and that's all. So if you are worried about losing your job to ChatGPT, well, then my suggestion would be learn how to use AI and learn what its limitations are and what its abilities are. Learn how to be a really good prompt generator. There's different ways to prompt it to make it do different things. But again, it will only do what you tell it to do and nothing else. You can keep it from going behind the scenes and sharing your information. You can, and that's fine. But be aware, it has a lot of limitations. And those limitations are not going to change because of programming. Programming can make it faster. It can make it more able to do, it can create more benefits, but it cannot do anything you don't tell it to do. So with that in mind, I just wanted to kind of put that out there and say it's nothing to be afraid of. As an accountant, I'm not worried about ChatGPT taking my job because my job is more than producing a lot of whatever. It's more than analyzing financial statements. It's more than just categorizing transactions. It's more than, and like I said, it's impossible for a computer to have compassion. It's impossible for them to have passion. So I'm able to have compassion and work with my clients where an AI would never be able to do that. AIs don't understand human life. They're very, very limited. They're very impressive and they're fun to work with. They're very limited. So again, I don't feel like there's any worry for anyone to worry about losing their job. Unless you are 50 years behind the times and don't know what a computer is, in which case you're not watching this video anywhere. So with that, I'm going to kind of end it. Say, don't be afraid of AI and learn how to use it. And as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.